Ladies and gentlemen, aviation enthusiasts and thrill seekers, today we are about to witness an event that challenges the laws of physics and redefines the limits of aviation. What you are about to see has never been attempted before. A Boeing 747, operated by All Nippon Airways, preparing to take off from an aircraft carrier in the middle of the ocean. This is a moment in aviation history that will be remembered forever. The aircraft carrier in question is the USS Freedom, one of the largest and most advanced naval vessels ever built. Designed to launch and recover high-speed fighter jets, this colossal warship was never meant to handle a commercial airliner, let alone a Boeing 747. Yet, today, this floating airbase will be the stage for an unprecedented aviation challenge. Normally, commercial jets like the 747 require a runway that stretches over 9,000 feet to achieve a safe takeoff. But today, the ANA 747 has a mere 400 feet of aircraft carrier deck. The question remains, will it be enough? To make the seemingly impossible feat possible, a team of highly skilled engineers and aviation specialists has spent months preparing for this moment. The aircraft itself has undergone extensive modifications. Every ounce of unnecessary weight has been removed. The interior has been stripped of passenger seats, overhead compartments, and even non-essential avionics. The aircraft structure has been reinforced to handle the extreme stress of a short takeoff, and the landing gear has been adjusted to ensure maximum liftoff efficiency. The cockpit is a place of intense focus. Captain Kenji Takahashi, a veteran pilot with over 25 years of experience flying commercial and military aircraft, sits in the left seat. Beside him, his co-pilot, First Officer Daisuke Mori, is just as determined. Their mission is clear: take off safely, gain altitude, and prove that this audacious idea can be turned into reality. Back on the flight deck, the final preparations are being made. The deck crew is performing last-minute checks on the catapult system, normally reserved for launching high-speed fighter jets. This system has been specially modified to assist a massive 747 in reaching the required takeoff speed. The engines have been inspected, the control surfaces are in place, and the aircraft is perfectly aligned for the launch. In the control tower, engineers and naval officers monitor every system with unwavering attention. All systems are green. An engineer confirms. Wind speed is optimal. Everything is set. The moment of truth has arrived. The 4 General Electric CF6 engines, each capable of producing over 56,000 pounds of thrust, come to life with an ear-shattering roar. Flames shoot from the exhaust as the engines spool up to maximum power. The deck trembles under the sheer force of the thrust. The crew members step back, shielding their faces from the intense heat and noise. Inside the cockpit, Captain Takahashi grips the controls. His voice is calm but firm. ANA 747, you are cleared for takeoff. The control tower radio's in. Roger that. The captain responds. Full power set. V1, rotate. The aircraft begins to roll. The catapult system engages, hurling the 747 forward with breathtaking acceleration. The nose lifts slightly as the aircraft gathers speed. The end of the deck is approaching fast. This is a critical moment. Either the plane lifts off or disaster strikes. Spectators on the deck watch in breathless anticipation. Some have their hands clasped together. Others hold their phones, recording this historic event. Oh my God, is it going to make it? One crew member exclaims. The aircraft's front wheels are now inches from the edge of the deck. The engines scream as they push the jet forward. Suddenly, the nose lifts further. The rear wheels leave the deck just in time, barely clearing the edge. The aircraft is airborne, but the danger is not over yet. Inside the cockpit, alarms blare. The aircraft is losing altitude. It hasn't gained enough speed. The ocean is rushing up fast. If they cannot stabilize quickly, the plane will crash into water. We're airborne, but we're losing altitude. We need to gain speed quickly, Captain Takahashi says through gritted teeth. Flaps full, nose up 5 degrees. Come on, baby, First Officer Mori adds, his fingers dancing over the controls. The pilots fight against gravity, pulling back on the yoke. The engines are at full power, struggling to keep the massive jet in the air. The water is dangerously close. just a few meters below. For a heart-stopping moment, it seems like the aircraft won't make it, but then, slowly, the nose begins to rise. The aircraft levels out, and finally, it begins to climb. A massive cheer erupts from the deck. Crew members jump in excitement, hugging each other in disbelief. "Unbelievable. We did it," one of the engineers exclaims. Inside the control room, a senior officer shakes his head in amazement. "That was the most intense takeoff I've ever seen in my life." Up in the cockpit, the pilots exchange relieved smiles. "That was the hardest takeoff of my life," Captain Takahashi says with a deep breath. "I think my heart just started beating again." First Officer Mori laughs. As the Boeing 747 gains altitude, it soars gracefully into the open sky. The setting sun casts a golden glow over the aircraft, marking the end of a breathtaking moment in aviation history. What once seemed impossible has been achieved. This event will be remembered as one of the greatest engineering and piloting feats of all time. Back on the deck of the USS Freedom, the crew watches in awe as the aircraft disappears into the horizon. They know they have been part of something truly historic. The Boeing 747, a legend of skies, has once again proven that aviation has no limits. What will be the next great challenge? Only time will tell. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more incredible aviation moments. The Boeing 747 is steadily taxiing toward the runway at Payne Field Airport in Washington State, preparing for takeoff. Its engines emit a deep, powerful hum as it moves down the taxiway, slightly faster than usual. The airport surroundings are calm, with the perfect weather conditions for a smooth departure. Clear blue skies, no turbulence, and optimal visibility. As the aircraft reaches a runway threshold, I push the throttles forward. The four massive engines spool up with an intense roar, sending vibrations through the fuselage as the plane surges down the runway. The speed builds quickly, and the nose begins to lift. Within seconds, the wheels leave the ground, and the Boeing 747 gracefully soars into the sky. But I'm not stopping at a normal climb. Instead, I pull back on the controls, attempting a nearly vertical takeoff, pushing the limits of what this aircraft and the X-plane simulator can handle. The aircraft struggles for a moment but continues to climb, piercing through the sky in an extraordinary ascent. After reaching a safe altitude, I ease off and return the aircraft to a normal flight path. Now, it's time to bring the plane back to Payne Field for a landing. I carefully reduce speed and descend, aligning perfectly with the runway. The flaps extend, the landing gear lowers, and the aircraft glides toward the touchdown point. But something seems off. Wait, you see that? Something is on the runway. It's hard to make out at first, but as I get